Hey guys, Rocky here. Just wanted to touch base and let you know where I'm at with the Suzuki. We got her up and running. She's still bogging a little on the throttle, but I mean that's not a big deal. I'll figure that out. I don't have the airbox on. I've heard it said that without the airbox on, they don't run well. They'll bog. I'm not sure if that's the problem or not. I'll put the airbox on and try it. Could be other issues too. Could be old gas. I don't know for sure. But it was doing the same thing when I had it running last year. Took it out the alley here and it wouldn't take its throttle. It just kind of bogged. I was able to get it back and forth from out to the end of the alley and back, but it definitely wouldn't be something you could ride that way because it'd be an issue. It wouldn't take its throttle. It sounds good. It feels smooth. I can get it up to about, if I'm easy on the throttle, I can sort of coax it up to about probably 3,500 to 4,000 RPM. It's pretty smooth. Now the next thing would be, like I said, to figure out why it's not taking its throttle. I'll put the box back on it. I'll let it cool a little now. It's been running for a while, so it's a little warm. Well, it's heated up. It's not really warm, not hot or anything. Smoking a little because I got some oil burning off on her. I probably see a little bit of smoke there now. Not a big deal. It's just some stuff's got to burn off. It hasn't been running in a while. Had that little leak in the cover there. I fixed that cover a while back. It's pretty warm now. It's too hot to hold your hand on. And the cover was fixed here. And so far, in the 15 minutes or so that I've been running it and playing with it, all I got's that one little drop. So I mean, it's not leaking bad. It is a leak nonetheless, but I'll deal with that later. Right now the thing is to get it so it's not bogging, so it'll run and not stall and shut off on me. Right now it's not idling on its own. Again, that could be something to do with the fact maybe that airbox needs to go back on it. So the next step would be to throw that airbox on it. Clean up the wiring the way I want it. I'm going to have to, for the time being, I'm just going to, like I said, jump and use a switch and jump my ignition down on the side. And if that's the case, you probably wouldn't even need a key to start it. Hopefully nobody would discover that because then they could steal the bike. But so probably wouldn't be a good idea to tell everybody on YouTube. But whatever. Anyway, the thing is now to get it up and running a little smoother. Once I know it'll actually run a little smoother, take its throttle. Then I'll start looking at whether or not I can actually drop the frame or whatever. I know it charges because I had it running. Pulled the battery cable, or pulled the battery's dead. The battery won't take a charge, but I pulled the cable off that was supplying power coming from the secondary battery while it was running, and it continued to run. It didn't shut off, so that tells me yes, it's charging. Otherwise, it would have shut off because it doesn't have no power in the battery to run it, right? And so there's a few things I've got to tweak on it. Some things I got to put together. The way I got it up and running, of course, was the way I should have got it up and running. I was trying to put some fuel down in the opening down here into the intake, which worked, and make it run for a few seconds and then shut off. Then I realized, well, I should know these bikes require the choke, this choke mechanism right here. And you pretty much have to, when you first start them, even in the summertime, it's a good idea to pull that up for the initial start, hold it for a few seconds till she has a chance to smooth out, stabilize, and once you got that, they're usually idle. So I'm going to go in the house, take a break, drink a little bit of my coffee, do a little surfing on the web there. It's about 20 minutes to 4, be about an hour and a half, 2 hours before Nancy gets home. I might even get a chance to come back out here before she gets home and just throw that box on it and try it, the airbox, and try it and see if I can get it to idle on its own and to take some throttle. And if it does, then we're good to go for a bit. I had to kind of Mickey Mouse the fuel line back on. All I did was use the external portion of a pick pen, cut a short piece out, managed to slide that into each end of the tube, and I don't know how that'll hold up to the gas. The gas will dissolve that. I doubt it will. Nice tight fit. I don't have a clamp on either side. It's not leaking, so I mean it's probably okay, but I wouldn't want to drive it extended distances that way or drive around town a lot that way because could spring a leak. Got to get a little piece of brake line. That's what I'm going to have to get, or a little piece of copper tubing or something. Maybe even just a foot of copper tubing, cut a piece off of that, and put the rest away in case I need it for something else. And then I'll clamp them down. Once they're clamped, I know they can't come off. So anyway, that's about it for now. I'm going to let her sit and cool for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back out and try again, start it up and see what it does. But I think, like I said, I'll put the box on it and then try it. A lot of times the bike sits for a while that way. It's got to heat up good and set, and everything loosens up and rings and all that stuff, if anything's sticking or whatever. I don't think anything is, though. This is run pretty smooth, so I don't think there's any sticky rings or anything. So I'm going to go inside and relax and have a coffee and mess around a little bit there on the computer, and then I'll come back out and try it again, and I'll let you know how things go. Till then, peace out.